Hervé Villechaize's final day. The tragic story of Hervé Villechaize. He was only 50 years old. Herv Villechaize became known as Mr. Rourke's sidekick on Fantasy Island. But behind his comical public persona lurked a depressed man who struggled to cope with his body's restrictions. Fantasy Island aired from 1978 until 1984, a time during which Herv's health and size-related issues had already become unbearable. I dread not to see tomorrow. I dread dying. But I will die, and not too many tomorrows, Herv wrote in his 1983 proposal for his never-published autobiography. At 3 feet 11 inches tall, Herv grew up with 3 normal-sized brothers in Toulon, France. His surgeon father, André, and British mother, Evelyn, tried everything to help him as a child. I was injected with bone marrow from sheep in Germany. I was studied at the Mayo Clinic in America. Then one day when I was 13, I said, "That's it. I don't want anything done to me ever again," Herv recalled. As a talented artist, Herv attended Beaux-Arts School in Paris from the age of 16 until he moved to New York 4 years later to continue his studies. Acting soon followed as Herv started appearing in off-Broadway plays and avant-garde films and married Anne Sadowski in 1970. However, 9 years later, they divorced. His big break into television came in 1974 when he starred as Nick Nack, Christopher Lee's sidekick in James Bond, The Man with the Golden Gun. The role led to his later casting in Fantasy Island in 1978. The actor's marriage to his second wife, Camille Hagen, followed 2 years later, but their marriage also ended in divorce in November 1982. Camille accused the actor of firing a pistol at her and pushing her into the fireplace at their San Fernando Valley ranch. A 5-year banishment from Fantasy Island followed after Herv started a salary dispute. In the depths of depression, he turned to alcohol and consequently missed acting offers until they're dried up. An arrest in 1985 followed when Herv got fined $425 for creating a disturbance at a Burbank, California hospital after police found a loaded handgun in his suitcase. According to his wife, Anne, Herv never accepted or made peace with his body size. Herv's biggest difficulty was being trapped in a body that wasn't doing him any good, she told People. The actor suffered a myriad of medical ailments because of his size. With undersized lungs, Herv almost died in 1992 after he got pneumonia and a series of minor strokes. He also suffered from an ulcer and a spastic colon. Apart from those medical issues, Herv's exterior remained small while his internal organs developed normally. Over the years, it started crowding his chest cavity, which eventually made it impossible for Herv to breathe lying down. His girlfriend Katie Self also ever told that he had been suffering from chronic pain due to the stresses his normal-sized organs were putting on his small body. All these medical conditions also left the actor in constant pain until he decided to put an end to it on September 4th, 1993. The previous evening, Herv and his girlfriend, Kathy Self, dined with friends after they saw The Fugitive in Los Angeles. When they returned to his North Hollywood home, Kathy went to bed. Instead of joining Kathy, Herv walked out onto the back patio and shot himself in the chest with a gun. Herv left a suicide note wherein he said that he loved everybody. But the pain from his proportionate dwarfism has become too much to bear. A week before the actor's death, he sat down with Sasha Gervasi, a journalist who worked in London, for an interview that stretched over several days. About a week after Sasha returned to London with over 12 hours worth of time with Herv, his girlfriend called with the sad news of his suicide. I spontaneously got incredibly emotional. I started listening back to the tapes, and I realized that he knew he was going to do it, Sasha told. For some random reason, he just grabbed onto whatever journalist passed by and poured his guts out to me in literally the final week of his life. He'd entrusted me with his story, and, in effect, I was his suicide note. His co-star from James Bond, The Man with the Golden Gun, Roger Moore, also told that. He was a very small man, and he used to touch me, and I used to say, "Don't touch me, you are diseased." In a staggering excavation of the bygone days of promiscuity and sexism, Moore added that he asked Villechaize how many women he had slept during the film shoot in the Far East. He told me 35. I told him that did not count as he paid for them. But he said, "Sometimes when I pay, they refuse." Apart from the now unacceptable ethics, the tragedy is also how all this would have been recounted for laughs, when it exposes the desperation and daily struggles of a man not even prostitutes would sleep with. Villechaize was well aware of how he was regarded, but was also the agent of much of his own misfortune. The movie shows how his Fantasy Island co-star, Ricardo Montalban, played by Andy Garcia, tried to help his angry and self-destructive friend. In more recent years, the Roloff family from the reality show Little People, Big World helped people get a glimpse into the world of others with dwarfism. Tori and Zach Roloff welcomed their first child, Jackson, in 2017. While Jackson has dwarfism like his father, Zach became concerned about his son's formative years, already having been through them himself. During an interview, Zach Roloff shared his concerns and some of the issues he faced growing up. Goodbye, legend actor Hervé Villechaize.